My school is so boring.
When is something interesting gonna happen? Someone's gotta shake this place up.
Someone's gotta shake this place up.
Give us something to talk about.
Something to talk about.
Something cool. High school stories, scandals, pranks, and controversies.
Everybody loves a good halftime show, but the football fans in this next story got treated to a very special, stripped-down version thanks to a few scandalous seniors. We've got the naked truth about this high school story right now. Welcome to Palos Hills, Illinois, a quiet, leafy green suburb just a stone's throw away from the busy streets of Chicago.
1 second you're in the city, and then 2 minutes later you're surrounded by forests and trees.
There's a lot of parks.
There's tons of trails, people are always jogging.
And not far from those trails is Amos Alonzo Stagg High School, where the name of the game is football.
Amos Alonzo Stagg was the football coach at the University of Illinois.
Football is always a really big thing in school.
Everybody goes to the Friday night games. You just meet up with everybody that you know.
The vast majority of the people who went to the game, they just went to have fun.
That's John, Stagg High's #1 funny guy.
John is a big jokester. He's a kid in school who's always messing around.
And you'd never catch John without Daryl and Brian, his stunt-pulling sidekicks.
All right, Daryl. Sexy shot. Sexy shot.
John, Daryl, and Brian, they were always just thinking about the next prank.
We did one prank where we cut out a bunch of these pictures from magazines, really raunchy pictures. Yeah. We superglued them all over the boys' locker room.
Now it was time for the guys to do the ultimate prank, this senior prank. So John got Brian and Daryl together to see what kind of ideas they had.
I've got this perfect idea. How long has it been since you ever heard of streakers?
About 30 years.
Exactly. Let's bring them back. Old school.
I will plan it.
I appreciate it. Me, him, naked. Running at homecoming.
Homecoming was always a big deal at school. There was definitely a significantly larger amount of people at the homecoming game, so we thought it would be a really good target.
All right. Plenty of time.
Let's do it.
All right.
Naked.
The very next day, John put the mayhem in motion, and the first part of the game plan was to scout the football field.
I went out to the football field with my digital camera, and I took pictures of the area. The football field itself, the stands, everything that would be a factor in the running and the streak. I wanted them to run across a certain section of the field. I picked the 10-yard line because security was not around the 10-yard line. I noticed that there was a section of the fence that was just short enough to hop, so they could easily escape. I took my pictures and I took everything I knew about the field and I mapped it out. I had almost all the details worked out, and then I realized that we needed someone to drive a getaway car.
The next day at school, John sought out a little help from his closest confidant.
Lucy, we need your help.
What's up?
Okay, we're doing a prank. Homecoming football game, halftime. During the cheerleaders' routine, Daryl and Brian are gonna run naked across the field. We're gonna do this, and we're getting away with it. We need you to drive the car.
If he ever does something that he's putting his heart into, he's gonna pull it out to the T, no matter what happens.
All right, yeah, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'll
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, you're in.
I'll do it. Awesome.
It was a great feeling, a huge boost of confidence for me to know that people would trust the plan.
What up? With the getaway girl on board and the mission all mapped out, the gang met up at John's house after school for a pre-prank planning session.
So, here's the plan. First, we're gonna come in here. Here's the entrance. And then, we're gonna take our seats. Once the 2-minute warning comes, we are going into the bathroom.
Daryl and I would go down and we'd go to the bathroom and change. We would put our clothes in the bag.
Now, Lucy, where do you play into this? Well, after they're in the bathroom, you'll wait and take the bag from them, and you will just get into the car. Brian and Daryl would then wait for the band to get off and the cheerleaders to go on. The cheerleaders would start, and that was the cue for Brian and Daryl to run across the field. Now, at that time, I will be over here on the other side of the field if the security guards are there.
I'll create a diversion to get them out of the way.
After they ran across the football field naked, I would be waiting so they could just jump into the car and we go on our way. It was just a clean in and out.
All right, awesome.
Everything was set for the stunt to come off without a hitch. Now all the halftime hooligans needed was a few props for the prank.
The shopping trip was definitely a riot.
Oh, right here, yes. What do you think, man? You like him? Yeah. You don't know who I am. We bought blankets to cover ourselves with after we had ditched our clothes.
I got a great idea.
We need Vaseline. Okay,
Nice.
you're gonna take it. Take the Vaseline and you're gonna put it on your arms, on your legs, all over. So in case you get caught, you can get away.
Sweet, sweet. Good
idea?
Yes.
We're gonna need a lot of it.
Vaseline's disgusting, but I thought if it's gonna save us, if it's gonna do the trick, we'll go for it.
Awesome. All right, give me all you got. Give it to me. All of it. I want it all.
When we checked out, it was very awkward.
Like, why would these guys be buying all this Vaseline? We had to kind of just grin and bear it and walk with our heads down as we walked out of the store.
I was really starting to get pumped up for it.
We were ready to go.
Coming up, will the guys carry out their streaking shenanigans?
So I'm like, wow, I gotta perform in front of all these people.
Or will they get sidelined?
The only thing that ran through my mind was, I pray that some little punk does not come up to us and just rip the sheets off.
Find out next when High School Stories returns.
Scandals, pranks, and controversies.
Let's get caught up. We've got two seniors ready to drop trout during halftime at their high school's homecoming football game. They've stocked up on props for the prank, and now it's time to do the daring deed. Let's see if they can pull off their clothes and the saucy stunt.
The place was packed. Seeing this kind of turnout was just incredible. This got a lot bigger than we anticipated.
That made me get more into it. I'm like, wow, I gotta perform in front of all these people. It felt like the clock was ticking backwards so slow. I could not wait for halftime.
And that's the 2-minute warning, folks.
This is what we prepared for, and this was our cue. Our hearts were pounding in our chests.
As we're heading toward the bathroom, we're pumped and we're excited and we're nervous.
This could be the biggest thing we ever did, or this could be the worst thing we ever did.
I had to wait for Daryl and John to give me their clothing.
Vaseline was god-awful, but I thought, okay, someone tried to grab us, we could probably slip out of the grab. It took us a few minutes and we were all set. We knew it was time to go.
They handed me a bag, and I walked nonchalantly into my car.
Lucy hurried off to drop their clothes at the designated spot and wait in the getaway car while the guys took their places at the starting gate.
People didn't bother us.
The only thing that ran through my mind was, I pray that some little punk does not come up to us and just rip the sheets off and just ruin our prank.
While the fellas worried about flinging off their clothes, John was dealing with some unwanted company.
I was on the other side with my friend. I looked and I saw a security guard. I had one eye on him and I had one eye on Daryl and Brian. I knew if Brian and Daryl ran across then, this guy would tackle them and we'd be done, we'd be caught. I needed to do something. I told him, hit me as hard as you can.
I'm like, I don't want to hit you. And he's like, come on, we just gotta fight.
Now that the security guard was occupied, all the guys had to do was wait for the cheerleaders to take the field.
I started to get stage fright.
My heart was about to explode. don't know if he said it or if I said it, but it was basically like, we better do this now or never. It felt like the field was a mile wide.
Thing I could hear was the crowd. It was probably the biggest rush I've ever had in my life.
The adrenaline just carried me. I remember just running and running. After I had made it past the fence, I knew the worst was over. I had already made it off the property.
Everyone was just kind of like, what, did that just really happen?
As security guard is breaking us up, everyone was just going crazy. The security guard didn't say anything to us. We did it. It was a great feeling.
While Brian and Daryl desperately looked for their clothes, the cops rolled up on Lucy.
What are you doing here? Parked out here?
I was so nervous, so scared, because I'm expecting naked Daryl and naked Brian to just run out.
You know, this is a no loitering zone.
I understand that. I didn't mean to be parked here. I'm just waiting for my friend right there.
I think you'll probably be on your way.
I had to leave. I left and drove to John's house.
So Lucy never connected with the guys, and as she headed off to John's, the streakers were still trying to find their clothes.
We're both running, frantically looking all over the place. We could barely see.
We found it with a little bit of difficulty.
I honestly thought we were going to have to go naked the rest of the way. That was definitely scarier than running itself.
Where is she? I don't know, man. She's supposed to be right here.
We had no clue what had happened. We didn't know where she was.
We waited as long as we thought we possibly could, and then walked back to John's.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
When I got back to John's house, I was so nervous because I didn't have Daryl and Brian, clothed or not. I didn't have them, period. Hey, John, yo.
Where are they?
Dude, the cops rolled up behind me at the forest. They told me to back the car out and leave. I thought maybe they walked here. I don't know. I drove slowly. Right. I did not see
come
him.
in.
I did not see him. Dude, I'm sorry.
I was scared. I felt my heart just drop into my stomach. I didn't know what to think.
Coming up, see if the Stag High streakers reap the rewards of their stunt.
We wanted the credit for it.
But if overexposure doesn't get them caught, will they be betrayed by one of their own?
Just sit there and confess. We have you.
Find out next when High School Stories returns. Let's catch up. Our homecoming streakers successfully completed their rousing run in the Buff, but they had missed their post-streak getaway ride, leaving their friends clueless about their whereabouts. Will Daryl and Brian make it back to the rendezvous spot? Let's find out.
When Lucy showed up without Daryl and Brian, she was as worried as I was. It's not your fault. We just need to find out where they are.
Before the cops do, before anybody else sees them.
I couldn't imagine what happened. And there was nothing we could do but sit there and wait. And that was the hardest part. I thought it could either be the police, someone from the school, or Brian and Daryl.
I was so relieved to actually see Daryl and Brian.
Oh, it was unbelievable. On top of the world. Like, I didn't feel anything. All I heard was the crowd just go nuts, and I just kept on going. I didn't even stop.
It was great just to know that even though we had one or two bumps along the way, we still got it off and we did it.
The streakers were stoked about their Friday night stunt.
And when they got to school on Monday, their prank was the hottest topic on campus.
People were just talking about it and just like, I can't believe that happened. That's so crazy. Nothing happens like this ever.
And they didn't know it was us, but they were talking about us.
They still had no clue, and that definitely made it a lot more fun.
But one student did have a clue. He captured the prank on camera at the game and then downloaded the footage to his website for the whole school to see.
And once word got around school, everybody was going to look at the video. They all fun making private party.
Wait, slow it down a little bit.
Play that section again. Wait, pause it. That's Daryl. And that's Brian.
That's Daryl.
Oh my God.
I could not believe that there was a video on the internet of what we had just done.
Good job, Daryl.
I loved it.
And now that the streakers were exposed, they could really bask in the spotlight.
We wanted the credit for it. I started getting a little more attention from the opposite sex.
You were so cool. I can't believe you did that.
Right, we're gonna go
so good.
I heard people talking, but we needed to kind of stay low-key about it because we could get caught.
Worried that their newfound notoriety might bite them in the butt, the guys huddled up and decided that if word got back to the administration, they would deny everything. And sure enough, they heard from the dean that afternoon.
Attention, attention. Daryl, please report to the dean's office.
When I heard my name, that to me was like looking death right in the face.
Daryl, you know why you're here. This whole streaking incident is your signature. Just sit there and confess. We have you.
You were accusing me of something I didn't even do.
I got proof. I had Brian in here. He gave you up, buddy.
When the dean said Brian got caught first and narked me out, I could not believe it.
We had kids there. It was a family event. A football game. Come on.
So I basically had to bite the bullet. All right, fine, whatever, I did it.
We had no choice but to suspend you for 1 day, and for a year, no extracurricular activities.
What?
That means no prom, no attending football games, nothing.
Frustrated by the dean's accusation, Daryl wanted to find out if Brian had really spilled the beans. But the dean got to his friend first.
Attention, Brian, please report to the dean's office.
The only thing I could think of was denied, denied, denied.
Brian, there's no use denying it. We know you did it. We got Daryl in here. He gave you up. Your friend gave you up.
I found that really hard to believe because Daryl's not the kind of guy to rat someone out. But I wasn't gonna lie through my teeth, so I fessed up.
All right. 1 day suspension. 1 year, no extracurricular activities. That means no football games, no prom, no sporting events whatsoever.
You can't do that.
Nothing.
The blood started rushing to my forehead and I got real angry. I kind of felt like the Incredible Hulk.
The next period was lunch, so Brian found John right away to talk about his meeting with the dean.
So what happened?
Dean calls me in. He told me that, like, Daryl was already in there.
Brian was told that Daryl confessed and brought his name up. I don't believe that. Daryl would not give you up.
That's what I'm thinking. That's, you know, that's the story they fed me. I wanted to talk to Daryl to see what had happened.
Dude, what happened? What do you mean what happened? Dude, I just got suspended, man. They told me you narked us out.
Dude, that's bull, man. That's what they told me.
Who told you I confessed?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Dude, he told me you confessed.
No way.
Oh.
My dean pulled a fast one. They suckered us.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Daryl and Brian had been played by the dean, and John went back to class wondering if he would be next. But he never got the call.
I felt bad that I didn't get caught, but it was really out of my hands and out of my control.
John was able to get off without any punishment. It really wasn't that big a deal.
When it was all said and done, the Stag High Streakers were just glad that their penalties for the prank weren't more severe.
I was pretty okay with the punishment. I didn't think it was too bad. I thought I was going to get arrested or fined.
We got off with a slap on the wrist, but it was still a punishment.
This was our ultimate prank, the one that will be most remembered. No one will forget that night.